Alrighty, what is going on, guys? Jond Games here, and today I'm going to be showing off what is new in the Minecraft Snapshot 14 week 04A. And the first thing that you might notice over here is what is going on with these little villagers. Now these villagers actually have some updated AI, and they are actually harvesting their own crops, which is really cool, I have to say. And they'll do this for all of the crops, although they don't seem to replant potatoes and carrots. That might just be a bug, or also it might actually be based off of the seed now that I think about it, because I planted a row over here, and as you can see, they're completely converted back into wheat. This side was carrots, this side was potatoes, and all of these had just a row of grown potatoes and carrots, and I guess they got replaced with wheat, but that might be, the AI might be based off of the seed, so it might depend on what naturally spawned there. I think that might be what it is. And yeah, so that was the changes when it comes to villagers, and over here we actually have a new command. I love when new commands are added into the game. So the command that we have here is the /particle command, and right now I am using it to affect every entity, and I'm using it to spawn in a bunch of lava entities, or a bunch of lava particles, and the command for that is right there. I'll put that in the description if you want to toy with it. That is what was on the Mojang website. And yeah, if you go ahead and just replace it with any other, it should work with pretty much any particle effect, which is pretty dang cool. I can see that being really helpful for map makers and spawning in just a bunch of effects. And yeah, another thing that's also really cool in this snapshot is when it comes to item frames. Now you can actually rotate things on a 45-degree angle as opposed to the old 90-degree angle. So before, this creeper head would either be right side up, left, right, left, up, down, right, etc. It pretty much had to be in one of those 90-degree rotations, but now it really doesn't have to be. Now it can pretty much be wherever it is, and that also applies to all of these arrows too, which is one of the best ways I think that I could really show you this change. Another really cool thing when it comes to item frames is what happens when you actually place an item into them. Let me elaborate on that. So if I go ahead and place an item into that, you can see that this lamp has now lit up, and that is because this comparator back here is actually detecting if an item is in this. And that is really cool, I have to say. But what is even cooler is what happens if you rotate the item. Now, whenever you rotate an item, the comparator will now output a signal strength that is really strong if it's more rotated. So if you have an item that is at that angle, I forget what that is, 200 and something, 300, and I'm bad at math, etc. But you can see that the signal strength is really strong if it is rotated almost entirely, and if you rotate it one more, it will flip off. And I can see this really being helpful when it comes to key doors and all that stuff. And another update to the redstone mechanics is buttons. Buttons can now be placed on the ups and downs of blocks, and that is the most technical term I think I've said all day, ups and downs. They can now be placed on the top and bottom of any block, pretty much, that you could place them on previously. And yeah, just something really cool. They've done that with levers, so it kind of made sense that they would do that with buttons. Now there has also been some updates when it comes to looting. So if I go ahead and look at this sword has looting 3, and if you don't know what looting does, it basically adds in a chance of getting a lot more rare items. And so the update to this is looting now gives you 1% chance per level of rare drops, as opposed to what it was previously, which was a 0.5% for every level. So they've basically doubled the effectiveness of looting, and I can see this being really helpful, especially in survival worlds, for going and grabbing those wither skulls. But yeah, that's a little bit of a foreshadowing. Anyways, over here we have the golems and we have the pigmen. You might have guessed that. But what you might not have guessed is they have actually been doing some changes to their drop rates. So if I go ahead and kill this guy without any player interaction whatsoever, no experience will be gained from this, that kind of thing, you'll see that he doesn't actually really drop much. I mean, it's not really much at all, but if I go ahead and get a normal sword and show you what it's like, I can go ahead and show you what he will drop. So if I go ahead and spawn in a pigman and then go ahead and kill him of my own accord, you can see that he actually did drop an iron ingot, which is pretty cool. And I think that they're just trying to crack down on farms a little bit and make them a little bit more vanilla friendly and a little more stable. I think that's what they're doing with this. And if I go ahead and use a looting sword, you can see I get a whole bunch of stuff, and there's even some rotten flesh in there. But yeah, and that also applies to when it comes to golems. I don't really want to kill this guy because they'll be a pain to spawn back in, but let me go ahead and kill this guy. So if I go ahead and kill this guy with a regular sword, you can see that he did in fact drop some ingots and a poppy. But if you noticed, it would pretty much be the same mechanics when it comes to the pigmen. They would actually drop less if they were killed by, say, the lava in your iron foundry, which is kind of unfortunate. But there has been some updates to them that have been positive, in my opinion. And again, that is all an opinion. I'm sure their intentions are good. Over here, now you can actually spawn in pretty much anything when it comes to... Oh, wait, I forgot this. I forgot to heed this little warning. Press F3. There's actually been some changes to the F3 menu again, and now whenever you look into a certain direction, you can see that the X and Z are now bolded, and that is the direction you're looking at, which is really freaking cool. And also, you might have noticed it's probably even less subtle, but look at the little crosshairs in the center of my screen. You can actually see that there is now a 3-dimensional crosshair as opposed to your flat 2D crosshair that you have pretty much everywhere else. I don't know if this can be edited via texture packs yet. I'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, that is pretty cool. That's pretty neat, I have to say. And yeah, let's move on to the golems and the withers, because they also have some changes when it comes to this snapshot. So if I go ahead and hit the button over here, you can see that it totally dispensed the wrong item. I forgot, that's just chance, but there we go. It'll dispense a pumpkin, and now it'll actually spawn in a golem, which is... Oh, I pushed him into that, I think. You good, bro? They'll actually spawn in iron golems as well as snow golems, I believe, just completely with dispensers, which is pretty dang cool. So if I go ahead and... Yep, that actually works, but I'm in a savannah, so... Sorry, bro, you instantly die. I'm sorry. And of course, this also works for the withers. I wanted to save this for last because it is definitely probably one of the worst things I can spawn in any village. Just, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry about this. I really just wanted to see what this is. Obviously, I have a backup of the world. Okay, let's see where this guy goes. Yeah, just for the villagers, exactly as I expected. Anyways, this about wraps up everything that I wanted to cover for the snapshot. Feel free to like the video if you guys like the video. It really does help me and really does get feedback on what you guys like me doing on my channel. But yeah, that basically about wraps everything up. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.